So imagine waking up every morning, coughing, eyes burning, and struggling to breathe, all because of something happening miles away in the field. Sound terrifying, right? But for millions, this isn't just imagination, it's reality. Today, we dive into one of the biggest environmental and health crises, stubble burning. Hey everyone, my name is Anurag, and in this video we are not just talking about pollution, we are exploring the real faces behind this issue, from the farmers in the field to the doctors in the hospitals and the policymaker trying to find solutions. We will answer critical questions: why do farmers continue to burn stubble? How does this impact human health? What alternative solutions exist? And the most importantly, what we can do. I'll be speaking with three experts: farmers who rely on stubble burning, healthcare professionals treating patients with pollution related illnesses, and environmental activists pushing for change. We will also compare this issue to Canada. If this were happening there, how would it be handled differently? Every year, as the seasons shift and winter approaches, something alarming happens in North India. The air turns toxic, a thick suffocating layer of smog settles over cities, blocking out the sun and filling the lungs of millions with poison. This isn't just fog, it's a dangerous mix of pollutants, smoke, and chemicals. Schools close, flights are delayed, hospitals overflow with patients struggling to breathe. But what's causing this? While many factors contribute, one major culprit stands out: stubble burning. Farmers across Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh set fire to millions of tons of crop residue, sending plumes of smoke into the air. And that smoke doesn't just stay in the field, it travels hundreds of kilometers, choking entire cities. So, what is stubble burning and why do farmers do it? So, stubble burning is the practice of setting fire to leftover crop residue after harvest. But why do farmers do it? To understand, I spoke with farmer who has been farming for over 20 years. So in this section of the video, I will walk you through some powerful data and satellite visuals taken directly from three scientific research articles which I chose for my project. These figures not only show the scale of the problem but also provide clear evidence of how stubble burning contributes to Delhi pollution, climate change, and economic loss. So this information is from my article Scale of Residue and Satellite Image. So this figure table this the figure in the table shows compare agriculture waste produced by different Asian countries. India alone produces 500 million tons of crop residue every year, much more than Bangladesh, Indonesia, and Myanmar like countries. And in my second figure of the same article, I will show you the NASA satellite image of crop smoke 2017. So in this figure, a NASA satellite image from November 2017 showing thick smoke and haze over Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, and parts of Pakistan as well. It dramatically shows how visible and widespread the pollution is from space. And next is from my second article. This information is from my second article named Fire Counts and Pollution Impact. So this figure shows the cumulative number of fires from 2016 to 2021 in Punjab and Haryana. In 2021, the fire count surged sharply after mid October and eventually surpassed the last 5 years. It also shows that the stubble burning got delayed by about a week compared to the previous years. And in second picture of the same article shows the graph shows how much carbon monoxide in Delhi air came from stubble burning in November 2021. On November 19th, crop burning alone contributed up to 550 parts per billion of carbon monoxide. That's 30% of the total CO in Delhi airs that day. And in my last article, from my last article, that article like economy and environmental impact, the figure which I want to show you here, the infographic, the infographic shows how crop residue burning affect air quality, soil fertility, health, tourism, and income. It connects all these impact clearly and powerfully. And at last, the same which I took from my article is the regression graph, the quantile regression on health and finance impacts. So a regression graph that's shown here that provides how PM25 levels rise directly with the amount of residue burned. The higher the fire activity, the worse the air quality, backed by modeling data. So inclusion, if I say, so we have seen through these figures, crop residue burning is not just a rural issue. It's a nationwide concern that affects cities, health, and environment. These visuals and statistics help us understand why strong policy, farmer support, and sustainable alternatives are essential. So, to help us understand better about this topic of the health impact of stubble burning on people living in North India, we have Dr. Hina Sharma, a highly respected respiratory health specialist with us. So, Dr. Sharma, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here, Anurag. I am glad to be part of this discussion because air pollution is a silent crisis that we need to address more seriously.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Hina Sharma. So before we begin, I want to mention that I didn't know about you. So about this project, I searched a lot and I found you like you are too respected person about this issue. So I think you are a good person for me to get this knowledge. So I want to ask some questions. So my first question for you about is that what are the like most common health issues you see in the patient during the stubble burning season?
During stubble burning season, I see a sharp rise in cases of respiratory infections. Many patients suffer from throat irritation, severe coughing, asthma, and COPD flare ups. Like people with pre existing conditions experience worse breathing difficulties. Also, allergic reactions, skin rashes like watery eyes, sinuses congestion are common complaints. Cardiovascular issues like people prolonged exposure can increase blood pressure and heart disease risk. I have had many patients who never had breathing issues before, but after prolonged exposure to the smoke, they develop chronic coughs and reduced lung functions.
Okay, okay, okay. So that's alarming, I know. So what
Yeah.
long-term effects have you observed in people exposed to high level of air pollution, according to you?
Yeah, for the long term exposure to pollution, especially from stubble burning, can have devastating health effects. Some of the most concerning ones include chronic lung diseases. Many people develop early stage COPD, which is irreversible. Also, the reduced lung capacity. Young adults who grow up in polluted cities often have weaker lung function compared to those in the cleaner areas. Uh, at last, the cognitive decline. New research suggests that air pollution can contribute to memory loss and even other diseases. In children, the damage is worse. Kids growing up in high polluted areas tend to have stunted lung development and a high risk of asthma and respiratory infection for life.
So for people living in heavily polluted areas like Punjab and Delhi, what preventive measures would you recommend during stubble burning season?
Yeah, it's a great question. Here are some proper steps that can help minimize health risks. Especially, you should stay indoors during peak pollution hours, usually early morning and late evening, or are the best times. Use air purifiers. A HEPA purifier can significantly reduce indoor pollution. Wear N95 masks. Regular cloth masks don't filter fine particles, so N95 masks are the best choice.
Okay.
Avoid outdoor exercise. Exercising in polluted areas can increase pollutant absorbed in the lungs. Most importantly, people need to pressure local governments to invest in long term solutions like clean energy and sustainable farming.
Okay. So, doctor, do you think the current policies to control stubble burning are effective? Or if not, what changes are needed, according to your perspective?
While some efforts have been made, the policies are still weak in
Mhm,
execution. Here's
mhm,
what need to change: more government subsidies for eco-friendly farming.
mhm,
Many farmers don't have access to machines like the Happy Seeder because they are too expensive.
mhm.
Stronger pollution control measures. We need better monitoring system to ensure strict implementation of anti-burning laws. Also, increased public awareness. Many people still don't know how dangerous air pollution is for their health. More educational campaigns are needed basically. Countries like Canada and Germany have successfully tackled air pollution by investing in green technology and enforcing strict penalties. India must follow a similar path too.
So it's great to hear from you. I got too much knowledge from your side about the health impacts and what the stubble burning main impacting the people in the areas where this kind of things are happening. So thank you so much, Dr. Sharma, for joining me us today and giving me this lot of information. So to better understand the crisis of stubble burning and explore potential solutions, I am honored to have with me today Rajvinder Kapoor, a dedicated environmental advocate who has been actively working on air pollution control and sustainable farming solutions. Much for
Hi,
joining us today, Mr. Rajvinder Kapoor. It's truly a pleasure to have you here.
hi.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So today I will discuss one critical issue that is stubble burning, that affects millions of people and require urgent attention.
So, okay, I'm gonna ask you some questions about the whole process. So, my first question is that, like, every year we see alarming headlines about air pollutions in North India, especially in Delhi. From your perspective, how severe is the issue of stubble burning?
So in the winter season, the situation is pretty severe.
Mhm.
Based mostly in the Delhi, the 40% of the pollution that gathers in the Delhi is PM 2.5 particles. That came from the stubble burning that happens in the Punjab, Haryana, as well as in Uttar Pradesh region of India. The farmers there burn the residue of the crops, and it those 2.5 p.m. particles that flew from that states to the Delhi gather around here due to low air pressure here in the Delhi. It resides here and cause air pollution.
So, my next question is, why do farmers burn stubble?
Uh, I think it's not the farmer's fault to burn the residue of the rice crop, because the time period between the rice cultivation of the rice and the wheat is not little to 15 days, and the farmers don't have much equipments like happy seeders. They don't have access to these machineries, and they also don't have enough money to spend uh, on the residue of the crop. So I think it's too time consuming, and they just burn it because it's a free uh, process. It causes problems for the other people, but for the farmers, it's the easiest way for them.
Okay, so how exactly does this pollution affect public health? Are there any specific groups more vulnerable to these effects?
Of course, the most vulnerable for these are the children as well as elderlies, or the people uh, that have low immunity, or are affected with the other conditions like asthma and etc. These are the people who are allergic to the pollens also get affected by this pollution. So I think that's a pretty severe case for them. In the research, there is also shown that the ladies who are pregnant can also get affected by these this pollution, because the baby may have a low birth weight, as well as there are also conditions of the premature birth.
Okay, okay, okay. So, beyond air pollution, what other environmental consequences does stubble burning cause?
Uh, the, it's just not about the air quality. There are also some major impacts that includes the soil degradation.
Okay.
There is also some like climate change, water crisis has impact on wildlife as well. For example, for the climate change, burning of the burning of the residue releases carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. That is main reason for the global warming. There is also uh, this construction of the organic matters in the process of the burning. That also leads to the poor water retention in the soil, which which makes the soil for the next crop more irrigation.
Okay, okay. So there are a lot more like the problems related to that process, right? So, okay, my next question is, various state government have introduced fines and subsidies to prevent stubble burning. Have these policies been effective according to your perspective?
I think the thought process about these policies is well intended, but the enforcement is weak. The fines that are imposed on the farmers are like from to 2,500 to 15,000, but many farmers simply cannot afford alternate methods. They cannot book the happy season uh, for the cultivation of the crop. But the awareness and accessibility remains challenges for them. Unless there are large-scale financial sports and education, these policies won't be effective.
Okay, okay. So, like, if we compare this to Canada, the government there actively funds sustainable farming research, offers direct financial incentives to farmers, and has strict monitoring system in place to ensure compliance, right?
Yes,
So, my next
that's correct.
question for you, like, if we want to eliminate stubble burning, what are the most practical and effective solution according to your perspective?
I think the first solution that I will give it's the technology-based solution. Machines like Happy Seeder or the Kusawai decomposer can help farmer manage crop residue without burning. There's also like some financial initiatives that government must provide direct cash incentives to farmers who can adopt eco-friendly methods. There's
Okay.
also community education. Awareness programs can be run by the students or the government and farmers training methods can also promote sustainable practices.
Okay. So according to your this answer, so how can like ordinary people, businesses, and students contribute to solving this issue?
Uh, for example, one individual they can also reduce their personal carbon footprints by using public transports and supporting green policies. The businessmen can invest in eco-friendly agriculture technologies and fund farmer training programs. The students' activities can raise awareness, conduct research, and push for stronger environment policies. For every small, even the small action, the sharing educational content also on social media can help create a bigger movement for change.
Okay, okay, okay. So that's true, Mr. Rajendra Kapoor. So this conversation has truly opened my eyes to the complexity of the issue. Before we wrap up, do you have any final message for our viewers? Like, what's do you
Yes,
want to
I
say?
have one. Yes, yes. Air pollution is not just a farmer's problem or a government's issue. It's something that affects all of us. We must demand action from policymakers, support sustainable farming, and take responsibility for our own environmental impact. Change is possible, but it requires collective effort.
Hey, so that's a powerful message, Mr. Rajminder Kapoor. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and insight. This is an issue that deserves urgent attention, and I hope this conversation inspire more people to take action. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, Rajminder Kapoor, for giving me this
Thank you
wonderful
so
time.
thank you
Yeah,
so much for having me.
thank you so much. So, after exploring the harsh realities of stubble burning, speaking to farmers like Mr. Baldev Singh, hearing from doctors and environmental experts, and diving into the data, one thing became very clear. This issue is not just about pollution, it's about people. It's about the farmer caught between survival and sustainability. It's about the children struggling to breathe in cities, and it's about the environment that connect us all. So, what I learned from this ones, so this project taught me that blame alone changes nothing. Real change happens when we listen, understand, and support. Farmers don't want to harm the environment, they want solutions that work. We need policies that are fair, inclusive, and practical. We need to fund alternatives, create awareness, and adjust crop cycles to give farmers breathing room, literally and economically. So my next is that could this happen in Canada too? My next perspective. So many people might think this is just India's problem. But climate stress, agriculture waste, and air pollution are global. In Canada, as we face more wildfires, drought, and changes in crop fields, we too could see environment practices with unintended consequences. That's why it's important for every country to learn from each other, share innovations like biodecomposers, and build farmer-friendly system before it's too late. And the solution I found from whole this project is like the first one, according to my research, adoption of the happy seeder technology. The happy seeder is a revolutionary machine that allows farmer to sow wheat without removing paddy residue, effectively eliminating the need for burning. Recognizing its potential, the Indian government offers a 50% subsidy for individual farmers and 75% subsidy for cooperative groups to make this technology more accessible. This initiative not only prevents air pollution but also enhances soil fertility by incorporating crop residues back into the soil. And the second solution, which I found from my research, is implementation of the PUSA biodecomposers. Developed by the Indian Agriculture Research Institute, IARI, the PUSA biodecomposer is a microbial solution that decomposes paddy straw within 15 to 20 days, turning it into nutrient-rich manure. In a collaborative effort, the Delhi and the Punjab government initiated a pilot project to spray this solution over 5,000 acres in Punjab, aiming to reduce stubble burning incidents significantly. So, my final message in the end is that crop burning is not just smoke in the air, it's a signal that we need to listen more, invest better, and act faster. Let's support those who feed us because when farmers thrive, so does the planet.